U.S. President Donald Trump's recent remarks on a so-called Christian genocide in the country stirred global debate and also diplomatic tension, while Washington's new religious freedom designation puts Nigeria under fresh scrutiny. Abuja insists there is no targeted persecution, just a complex mix of terrorism, banditry, and communal violence. Now, what's facts? What's politics here? And what does this mean for Nigeria's security image, particularly on the global stage? Now, joining me to discuss this further is Ishaya Inuwa-Durkwa, is the Executive Director, International Organization for Peace Building and Social Justice. I also have Prophet Isa El-Buba, is the General Overseer of the El-Buba Outreach Ministries International. Gentlemen, thank you for your time. All right, let me start with you, Prophet El-Buba. There is, of course, this is not the first time that this conversation. Can you hear me, Prophet? Can you hear me, Prophet El-Buba?
Let me start with you, Prophet El-Buba. There is, of course, this is not the first time that this conversation.
All right, I think we're having a bit of connectivity issues with Prophet El-Buba. Let me start with you, Mr. Ishaya Inuwa-Durkwa. It's great to have you once again. Now, my question is this. The U.S. President has described Nigeria as a country of particular concern, and, of course, has also made references to a perceived persecution, which, of course, is largely called a Christian genocide, labeled Christian genocide according to them. Is this the current reality or the current situation we are facing as a nation right now?
Yeah, so Dapo, thank you for having me here. And I'm also glad to share this time with a father, a prophetic voice in this nation, who has a cutting-edge voice in days when people are refraining from speaking. His voice is being heard loud and clear, and I must say thank you to him for doing that. Having said that, I refrain from talking, Dapo, just so you know, on this matter. This is the first time I'm talking about it because of how contentious it has been. But I do not think there is reason to stand contradicting each other. Perhaps the name Christian genocide is not sitting well with people because it is true that Muslims have been killed. That does not negate the fact that there is a Christian genocide. So in philosophy, there is what is called fallacy of illicit minor. That I say is white doesn't mean I'm saying it's black. And by that, I mean to say that when they say Christian genocide, you cannot say it is not true. You cannot say it's a complex mix in the face of data. Data speaks, data don't lie. We believe in God, but we also believe in data. And what are the data? By the way, we are not dealing with a rumor of Christian genocide. We are not dealing with exaggeration. We are dealing with documented facts. We are dealing with survival testimonies. We are dealing with humanitarian reports and the attackers' own video recordings. What people didn't know is that the social media doesn't forget. Each time there is killings, people post it on Facebook, on X, and many other media platforms. And some of the attackers even post their own videos on how they are annihilating people in the most terrible and extreme of circumstances, and in a gory way, in a very barbaric way. These things are being posted on media handles. And most of these media handles are deployed by foreign nations. Nigeria does not own Facebook. And there are tools that are used to collect data. We don't realize that. And yeah, the images are there. We've seen people in their hundreds, on motorbikes carrying guns. Even Nigerian government in several successions have said their firepower is stronger than ours. Armed forces have come under the weight of people who are fighting. So the question is, who are these people who are fighting, who are killing our soldiers, who are laying ambush to kill our armed forces, who are just terrorizing everybody here? So today, I'm not, let's put aside selective outrage. Let's put aside religious bias and ethnic defensiveness. Let's also put away political loyalty. Let's talk about humans. It's human beings we are talking about.
Just so that we just get this, within a context. And before I move to Prophet El-Buba, do you think, according to the description of the United States, is there a Christian genocide?
Yes, there is.
All right. I'll leave you for a moment and then come back. Let's, of course, bring Prophet El-Buba into the conversation. It's great to have you, sir. I believe you can hear me now.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Thank you for having me on set.
All right. Your take. And, your take on the description of what is going on in terms of the attacks in Nigeria by the President of the United States, describing Nigeria as a country of particular concern, and also using the term Christian genocide. Is that really happening?
It's really happening. The fact is that we can't deny the truth because the videos are there, apart from our own personal experience, and we're talking about first-hand experience. I just want to say that I'm grateful that you brought us together with Mr. Inuwa, on this set. But these are things that we have experienced firsthand, so it's not something that is in the blues. And then the internet and the social media cannot also deny certain truth and certain facts. So genocide is on. And when people are asking, okay, but Muslims and Christians are being killed, the truth is that when you go back to time immemorial, you would discover that the first attack began on Christian communities and Christian churches and also people, before it began to spill over to the moderate Muslims. Anyone that do not conform and do not agree with their radical position, they eliminate them.
You used the phrase moderate Muslims. You said it began to spill to moderate Muslims.
Yes.
I would like you to please expatiate on that.
Now, the moderate Muslims are the ones who do not believe and agree with their ideology. They come in as Islamic jihadists. And they believe that they have been given a mandate to conquer Nigeria. And the first point of the conquering is to eliminate the Christians in the north. And that is the reason why you discovered that the attack was so much on the Christian communities. As I talk to you right now, a lot of the Christian communities, nobody is there. It is the terrorists who are living there. Now, when some of the moderate Muslims, which are Hausas, began to disagree with their ideology, you realize that as long as they don't submit to them, they clean them up and they kill them. Now, that is what is happening in Zamfara. That is what is happening in Katsina. And that is now, if you look at the majority of the victims, they are Hausas. They are not Fulanis. They are not Fulanis. Most of the time, it is the Hausa people who are going through what is going on in the far northwest.
I'm going to take you on that. Please hold on. I'm going to take you. You said that most of the victims are Hausas and not Fulanis. Why is that?
Yeah, because it's an agenda.
By who?
They're just carrying out an agenda. By some of the leaders that are in this country. I've mentioned some of them. And you have also heard them, the social media is there, it doesn't lie. You have also heard them that they brought in these people in order to unseat President Jonathan. They brought them in. So it is a calculated plan. That is why it's a genocide. Let me give you an example. When they came in and they attacked Chibok, Chibok is dominantly a Christian community in Borno State. And so when they came, you realize that the victims were purely Christians and the Christian community was completely emptied. When they went to other places, you check the pattern. It's always Christian community. When they went to Goza, it is the Christian community that were completely ransacked and the people were completely killed, slaughtered, and all of that. As long as you don't deny your faith and you say you're going to hold onto your faith in Jesus Christ, you are going to go. So these are jihadists. And this is just who they are. And they are getting backing, and this is the reality. They are getting backing from certain individuals that are in government. As I talk now, they are in government, and they have been in government in the past.
Who are these individuals in government?
I've said it over and over. I mean, the system is there. But let me give you an example. When you had your Middle Belt Forum, and I started out the Mayati Allah. Mayati Allah, they are, let me use the word, they control 80% of what is going on. Mayati Allah and Magban. Who is the head of Mayati Allah? Who is the head and the chairman of Magban? So if you can tell me who that person is, that person knows what they are doing. And you have heard them say that as long as certain things are not given to them, nobody will have his peace.
So you're saying, so what you're saying is that these groups, in a way, to a large extent, can be linked or have been linked to many of these attacks. And I mean, okay, and so they're complicit, basically.
That's right. That's why I'm saying that the government is not that the government doesn't know. The government knows who these killers are, who their sponsors are. All right? They are there.
All right.
And I brought out the names. I give you an example with Shegumi. Shegumi, I met with him some time ago, but when he started parlaying with the bandits, you could listen to what he has been saying. You know, these are people that have killed tens of thousands of people, and you are telling me to negotiate with them. You know, these are people that are coming, you go to them, they come to you, and you tell me that the security agents cannot deal with them. He is one of the people that if the government picks him up and they really want to deal with this matter, I'm telling you, in less than 1 week, Nigerian government will deal with this matter. All
right, Prophet El-Buba, we'll definitely come back to this conversation. We'll go on a quick break. When we return, we'll look at it also from other angles. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Many thanks for staying with us. It's still Politics HQ on News Central Television. I still have Prophet Isa El-Buba, is the General Overseer of the El-Buba Outreach Ministries, and also Ishaya Inuwa-Durkwa is the Executive Director, International Organization for Peace Building and Social Justice. Gentlemen, thank you for staying with me. Now, let me come back to you, Mr. Inuwa-Durkwa. Now, a quick one. There have been conversations around how best the Nigerian government should handle this, what I call it, diplomatic tension right now. Mr. President did assure the international community, particularly the US, that it will fight terrorism. But is that enough?
Yes, so I did say, and this was where I ended, I say, yes, there is genocide in Nigeria, and go and check the definition of genocide and check why what is going on in Nigeria fits or meets the standard of genocide as prescribed by United Nations. Having said that, I believe that this present administration is on a good ground to address this diplomatic tension. Why? Because the crisis predated them. It began during the Obasanjo administration when Boko Haram began in Damaturu, but they acted quickly and quenched the fire. And then during President Goodluck Jonathan, it resurfaced, and then it became wild, and then going into the 8 years of the late President Muhammadu Buhari, Nigeria never knew peace. So it's something that predated this present administration. And as soon as this administration came in, they showed the willpower to mitigate the challenges, and the killings went quiet. For example, the Abuja-Kaduna Expressway that you couldn't fly before, it was deserted. People began to use it until recently when these things start springing up. So this administration have demonstrated that they have what it takes to deal with this genocide challenge, to deal with these terrorist activities, ongoing events. And so how to go forward is to strengthen what we call listing Nigeria as a country of particular concern is basically to challenge Nigeria to get up and stop the killings. Nobody would argue that there are no killings in Nigeria. And I have said earlier when you said Christian genocide, I said yes. But that doesn't mean that there is no Muslim genocide. I would like to have an exclusive interview on this. I will give you data and facts. I'm responsible for everything that I have said. But to deny the obvious is to do ourselves a disservice. It's not even a subject of conversation at all.
All right.
There is on wanton killing in Nigeria, and it must stop. It must end. And how then do we do that? This administration have what it takes. It's just to strengthen that and enjoy support from the United States government in terms of training. For example, there was a training that began on counterterrorism attack, which the United States government began to lead. So those kind of things could be strengthened. Our soldiers need to be strengthened. Our armory need to be strengthened. Our intelligence gathering need to be strengthened. And then let's rout this monster that is eating us and making us restless and not being able to sleep. And then we will find our humanity. Investors are leaving our nation because of insecurity. Poverty is increasing because of insecurity.
Mr. Durkwa, just a quick one, so that I can also move to the Prophet. Do you think also that, because there are speculations that maybe, just maybe, the U.S. might have some ulterior motive or interest, in all of this? Do you suspect that too?
The what?
Do you suspect that maybe the United States has some sort of interest or ulterior motive in this old diplomatic row?
That is crap. We are just begging the question. We don't want to face the fact. I don't believe that. I heard people saying they are interested in our gold, in our mineral deposits and all of that nonsense. Who has enjoyed the benefit of the deposits that we have in Nigeria? Is the average Nigerian enjoying any benefit? Have we translated our natural endowments and human capital into building a civilization that poverty is eradicated, healthcare is working, education is revamped, and all of those things? Have we enjoyed those mineral deposits? Who are the people who are fighting? I agree that there is a nexus between conflict and those mineral deposits, but it's a hydra kind of a problem. And look, there is an extensive research done. I will forward to you once we finish this, one of the documented research evidence that we have on these things. And you know that I'm speaking from an empirical standpoint. I don't bring emotion into this.
All right, thank you.
There is crisis that we must deal with. But to say that they have interest, what is the interest? The interest is to flush terrorists from our nation so that Christians and Muslims can live in peace the way we have been living, and so that the nation would prosper.
All right, thank you.
That is what the interest is. But any other thing, people are just trying to distract and twist and change the narrative.
Thank you so much.
Those who
thank you so much.
Continue to kill people.
Thank you so much, Mr. Durkwa. Now, let me come back to you, Prophet El-Buba. I mean, you made reference. You are, of course, on one of our programs. That's our Town Hall series, the Middle Belt. And you said quite a number of things. Let's do a playback of some of the things that you said, at that event of ours.
Oshun, Fulani, Ekiti, Fulani, Sokoto, Fulani, Kasina, Fulani, Kaduna, Fulani, Plateau, Fulani, Benue, Fulani, Taraba. Are you the only tribes in Nigeria? You are not the only tribe. There is nothing like profiling of a people. I'm a Fulani man. I'm a grandfather of 8 grandchildren. And we just have to speak the truth. The Bible says you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. As long as we continue to glouse over the truth, we will never get the answer. And I want to say this to our security men: until justice is done, there will never be a solution. If you get a Fulani man that is a killer, deal with him as a killer. If you get a bureau man that is a killer, deal with him as a killer.
I mean, Prophet, that video which has now gone viral on social media, you took a pretty difficult standpoint there. You said the obvious. You said Fulani, and you also said that you yourself a Fulani man. That puts you in a very difficult position. I'd like you to speak on this, particularly with the reality on ground. You made mention of an agenda here, and you said more often than not it's the Hausas that are victims and not the Fulanis.
Now, what I'm saying, just like you said, is the most difficult position for me to take. But you see, you must come to a stage in your life where you stand either for falsehood, to continue to keep your generations and descendants in captivity, or you stand on the side of truth, where you free generations that get born. And so the reality of what is done, we must look at who are the majority of these bandits. And who are these people that are carrying the most sophisticated weapons? The moment we agree who they are, then we down the church. It was something they never expected that the world will come to, let me use the word, intervene in it. But to realize a few months ago, I was out on the street with thousands of people when they invaded some of the communities, slaughtered innocent lives. When they attacked Yellow Water, I had to cancel my major revival meeting, cancel it the next day, and ask the people, we must go out and stand with the people that have been killed. Now, you go and check out, these are Nigerians, Christians in Yellow Water, they invaded it, wiped them away. You can see the number. Little children, babies were all burnt. Now we come over to what is happening. That's why when people are talking about why are you saying genocide, because the thing is both sides, the reality is when you look at the definition of genocide, this is genocide. After a people of a different faith, of a different tribe, they go in there, they wipe them away. From Plateau to Taraba to southern part of Borno, you go down and coming up. Now, when it comes to the Hausa side, this is something that was there when Ottoman Fodio came in. They had an agenda, and now they are reviving that agenda against the Hausas. There used to be a marriage between Hausa and Fulani, but they were using that to oppress the Hausa. That the people that are, the majority of the people in Zamfara, like I said, in Katsina and other places that are killed, the majority of them are the Hausa people. And the Hausa communities have been displaced. The question I would like to ask you, when Boko Haram took place in Borno, the Shehu of Borno came out to speak. The Shehu of Borno came out to speak to its own people, which is my own people, to go the Boko Haram members. When have you heard some of the northern emirs coming together with the Sultan himself? And I'm calling name because at this point in my life, I'm through all the threats. But we must speak the truth. That is what is going to heal Nigeria. That is what is going to heal the North. If you knew the North when I was young, a beautiful place. The North used to be a place where we worked together, we lived together. I was a Muslim. There was no difference between the Muslim and the Christian, the Igbos, the Yorubas were living among us.
All right.
But these people have an agenda. It's the agenda they are carrying out. And this agenda must be stopped.
All
so
right.
when Trump said he is coming to give support to the church and to the Christians, he's not saying he's coming to kill the Muslims. What he's saying is, I will join hands with you to eliminate the terrorists. So why should there be this story all over the North now? The people who are making this story are the people that are benefiting from this killing that is ongoing.
All right, thank you so much, Prophet El-Buba. We'll go on a quick break. When we return, of course, we will be winding down. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Many thanks for staying with us. It's still Politics HQ on News Central Television. We would, of course, I'd love to continue with the conversation, but we need to, of course, close it at this time. I'd like to say a big thank you to my guest this evening. All right, I understand that we've been spared a couple of minutes, right? So before we close, let me just quickly take it in 30 seconds. Your final thoughts. Mr. Ishaya, what do you consider a lasting solution to this, or a permanent solution to these killings? 30 seconds.
Acknowledge that there is problem, speak the truth, and then deal with the problem. Genocide means that the intentional destruction in whole or in part of national, ethnic, racial, or religious groups. So I ask you the question, is there a genocide in Nigeria? Yes, Muslims are also going through genocide, because when we unpack the word genocide, we'll understand what it means. But it doesn't mean that it's only Christians that are being killed in our nation. So let's accept that there is a problem, otherwise we won't be able to deal with it. This will be my concluding thoughts. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Prophet El-Buba, you said quite a couple of things, and you also echoed my concerns when I said you are a Fulani man. It puts you in a very difficult position to even call out your own. But I want to ask you, what do you, sir, consider a permanent solution to this problem? What do you consider justice?
The justice is there, is number one. All the communities that have been occupied by the terrorists, Nigeria government should go after them immediately to get them out of those communities and neutralize those people. They are there. Number two, I would say that the president of Nigeria should partner with America to invade using technology to wipe out these terrorists. The North is suffering. I feel the pain of our soldiers that are being killed every day. I tell you the truth, I weep every day. And so the only way forward, move in there, take away the matter of politics, deal with the matter. Lastly, the former chief of defense staff, after your meeting in Jos, he flew in immediately and gave an order to the military, go into the forest and sack them. I can tell you the reason why this man was relieved. Certain people that are in that particular sponsorship were not comfortable. That is the reason why he was relieved. But that man was working. Musa was really working to wipe out the terrorists. So sorry. My own take is...
Sorry, you said that the reason why the former chief of defense staff was relieved was because certain people that were in the sponsorship wanted him out. And it wasn't because of poor performance. Right. Who are these persons, please?
No, I tell you the truth, he was one of the most performing chief of defense staff. I mean, you can see the way he was really dealing with the terrorists. The only thing is that some of the places he will go, the command will come from the ministers of defense or somewhere, the national security advisor, stop, don't move. This is how our soldiers are falling. Our soldiers can handle this matter. I can tell you that.
Now, for the so-called expansionist agenda you also mentioned, what do you consider, a way out of it or a way forward?
The way out of it is for the Nigerian government to take politics out of this thing. I can tell you, number one, just listening to the social media of most of the Islamic clerics that are from this extraction, you will hear their language is so destructive. So all that they need to do is to pick up those clerics, and it will end up the raising of bandits in the form of Almajiri in northern Nigeria. Number two, go after them and not spare them. There's nothing like negotiation. How can you be paying people that are slaughtering your citizens and you tell me that this is justice? No, justice is to neutralize them. He that kills by the sword will die also by the sword. So the president, this is my advice to President Tinubu, God allowed him for such a time like this. America has come up. Let him align with America and let them go out and flush them. And this thing will come to an end by God's grace, and Nigeria will emerge as one of the greatest nations in the continent of Africa and the world.
Final thoughts on Miyetti Allah, 30 seconds.
Miyetti Allah should be arrested. That's one. Number two, Miyetti Allah officials should all be arrested. They are part. They know. And I keep saying it, they know. Magban and Miyetti Allah are the terrorist association. So they should be proscribed as terrorist group. They should be arrested and then disbanded in this country.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for your time. Prophet Isa El-Buba of the El-Buba Outreach Ministries. Thank you so much. Also, Ishaya Inuwa-Durkwa, the Executive Director, International Organization for Peace Building and Social Justice. It's been a pleasure, gentlemen. Once again, thank you for your time. Well, this, of course, is where we wrap it up. In case you missed out, you can catch up on our YouTube platform. That's at News Central TV. You can also choose to follow us on social media. The handle is there on your screen. You can choose to follow me personally at Dakpo Adegboye. Until I come your way again, good night. Tomorrow, of course, is News Central's special coverage of the Anambra elections. You might just want to be part of it.